Have you ever come across this quote by Henry Ford? Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. It's such a simple way to sum up what mindset is all about. When it comes to motherhood, money, health, or even keeping your home in order, your mindset is either working for you or holding you back. Why does mindset matter? And how can we turn it into the secret weapon to make life a bit easier? Hi, my name is Priscilla, and I help busy millennial moms who've lost themselves in motherhood find their sense of self. So what do I mean by when I say mindset? Think of mindset like a pair of glasses. On one lens, all you see are problems, how it's never gonna change, how you failed and there's no coming back. That's a fixed mindset. On the other lens, you see solutions. You ask yourself, is there another way this can be done? What went wrong and how can I learn from this? That's a growth mindset. The lens you wear shapes how you live your life, how you parent, and dreams you have for your life. Let's look at some everyday examples of fixed mindset, starting with money. Have you caught yourself saying, I have no money after I've paid my bills. I'm left with nothing. So I can't start the business I want. I can't afford to go on holiday because I don't have money. That kind of thinking keeps you stuck in survival mode. And here's how you can flip that. When you tell yourself, it's true, money is tight, but let me have a look at my budget and look at if there are other places where I'm spending frivolously that I could save that money. Or let me start a side hustle so I have a new stream of income that will be able to fund the business I want to or to go on holiday. See how having a growth mindset opens the doors for possibilities? Now, let's look at being the first in the family to do something. Maybe you're telling yourself, I want to go to university, but in my family, nobody has ever gone to uni. How am I going to pay my fees? Are my family going to think I'm trying too hard? It feels out of place. That's your comfort zone talking. But if you say to yourself, I'm going to be the first one to go to university. Yes, I'm going to work extra hard, even if it means taking on 2 jobs. And I will not let fear or family opinions talk me out of it. Because once I break through, once I'm the first one, I create a path for others. Let's have a look at the location. Sometimes your dreams are bigger than the environment you're in. You might be thinking, moving to a bigger city feels impossible. My whole life is here. My family, my friends are here. I don't know anyone there. I'll just be starting from scratch with little money and a big dream. If you get stuck in that kind of thought, it can hold you back. But a growth mindset says everyone starts from somewhere. It will be tough at the beginning, but with focus, I will get the right job, make new friends, and create the life I want. I can plan how I'm going to have social capital. I can join the gym, church, network with people, and little by little, I will feel like I belong. Maybe things like diabetes, high blood pressure runs in your family, and it's easy to say to yourself, it's in the genes, I'm gonna get it. But if you think that way, you stay powerless. With a growth mindset, you can say to yourself, I'm going to go to the doctors, explain my family's medical history. We do the tests that need to be done so I know where I stand. And we come out with a preventative plan. I can change my diet, add movement, track my numbers. My family's history is not my future. I can break the cycle for myself and my kids. Here's the difference. A fixed mindset instinctively dismisses anything that asks you to stretch, grow, or consider real change. But a growth mindset asks you to stay with the idea for a moment, explore what's possible, giving it space to breathe instead of shutting it down right away. Think, what if I gave it a try? What if this could really work for me? What's one small action I could take right now? Now let's have a look at some of the mindsets that affect us in motherhood. That's beyond just chores. Because let's be honest, busy millennial moms are not only moms. You're also friends, lovers, creators, future entrepreneurs, and decision makers. Let's look at some common fixed mindsets that creep in and the growth mindset that can shift things fast. Let's have a look at friendships. A fixed mindset tells you, I don't have time for friends. You may feel like they don't even get me anymore. Motherhood has changed everything. This holds you back because you start believing friendships are a luxury instead of a lifeline. Trust me, it takes a community for you to do motherhood. You cannot do it on your own. Think of it this way. Friendship is not a luxury. It's fuel. Redefine what friendship looks like in this season. Maybe it's not a 3-hour brunch anymore. Maybe it's a 20-minute call while you're folding laundry, or a 2-minute voice note instead of a long text. Small connections add up, and the mental lift you get, that's huge. Maybe you've got some entrepreneurial or career dreams. You tell yourself, I can't start a business now. I'm a mom and I barely have time for myself. This kind of thinking makes you convince yourself you have to wait for the perfect time, when the kids are older, when the money is better, when life is calmer. On the other hand, you can say to yourself, there is no perfect timing. Every business, every career shift can start off messy. A growth mindset will say, what's the one little step I can take this week? Whether it's research, sending an email, draft an idea, progress beats perfection. I'm going to say it a bit louder for the people at the back. Progress beats perfection. Let's look at relationships. You could be saying to yourself, romance is dead once you become a parent. You see love and parenting as competing identities instead of identities that can coexist. This is how you can make it work. Keep it small but intentional. A growth mindset asks, what's one simple thing I can do to spark connection today? Is it a compliment, a hug, a note in their lunch box? Never underestimate small gestures. They keep the fire alive. Now, this is a big one. Your future dreams or goals. You make age an issue when it comes to your future dreams or goals. Start over or do something bold. But really, what does age have to do with your dreams or reaching your goals? If you choose to see age as a problem, it will become a problem. Already as women, our gender is sometimes seen as an issue. They talk about the glass ceiling at work, limitations on how far we can go. Why add age to the list? Your age should feel very empowering. You have the experience, you've seen a thing or two in life, and you have so much to give. In fact, your age should be the driving force that pushes you to pursue your dreams and achieve them, not in spite of your age, but because of it. If you ever think age is holding you back, try to look up the women who became successful later on in life. Let their stories inspire you. Let their stories be a stepping stone for you to take action. A growth mindset will tell you, remember, you can rewrite your story at any age. In your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s, and beyond. Your age is not a limit. It's your advantage. Let me say that again. Your age is not a limit. It's your advantage. So why does a growth mindset matter for us in motherhood or as women? When you shift from a fixed to a growth mindset, you literally start to see the world differently. Let me give you an example. I once noticed a particular car. It's BYD, Build Your Dream. Before that, I'd never seen it or paid any attention, but once it caught my interest, I started seeing the car everywhere. Whether I went to the supermarket, whether I was doing school runs, on the motorway, the car was everywhere. Did these cars appear overnight? Of course not. They were always there, but now they were in my radar. That's exactly how growth mindset works. Opportunities have always been around you, but with a fixed mindset, you cannot see them. When you change your mindset, you start spotting possibilities and opportunities that were invisible before. Now, here's the key. If you've been living with a fixed mindset for years, that way of thinking has become your default. A growth mindset suddenly won't become natural. It takes intentionality. You have to keep focusing on possibilities and surround yourself with people who have a similar mindset so you can bounce off each other. When you have a growth mindset, you will notice that you see abundance instead of scarcity. And not only in money, you see abundant opportunities, abundant ideas, and abundant ways to grow. You'll see yourself having a boost in your confidence because you stop saying I can't and start proving to yourself you can. Every small win builds trust in yourself. You also grow in resilience because when something doesn't work, instead of giving up, you ask yourself, what can I do? What can I learn? What's the next step? If it can't be done this way, can we try a different way? Is there a different approach? Because your brain starts looking for new ways instead of recycling the same old excuses or ways of thinking. You grow in leadership as a mom because your children are watching you. They'll model the way you think, and your mindset will influence how they see their own future. So when you choose growth, you're not just changing your own life. You are reshaping the story for generations that will follow you. So when you find yourself having a fixed thought or a fixed mindset, flip it by asking yourself, how can I? Write it down. And speaking of a fixed mindset, in the next video, I will be sharing how a fixed mindset can keep you stuck in motherhood, what it costs. Subscribe if you can so you don't miss out when the next episode drops. Bye for now.